Hi, my name is AnnMarie Preik, and I am your host for today's Second Act Mamas podcast, a place where women in the second act of their life can come together to talk and laugh, pray, admonish, lament about everything that this stage of life has to throw at us. So today, I'm so excited! Please help me welcome my two dearest and oldest friends, Susie Stamey and Michelle Amore. If you know me at all, you have heard these names so many times in conversation. I was trying to come up with how long we've actually been friends.
It's 20 years.
At least 20, right?
21, because we weren't pregnant initially. We all got pregnant in our small group.
Yeah, so
at the same
sure.
time, so it was before that.
Yeah, and
so it's 22 years actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, because all three of us
20.
are actually, all of three of us, our oldest is going to be 21 this year. That's something.
We are 29.
Anyway, so we met in North Carolina, years and years of friendship. So I'm super excited that we are on location in Beach Mountain, North Carolina, and talking about friendship. So, okay, so let's start with some rapid fire questions.
Oh gosh.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
When going on a date with your hubby, do you choose a romantic candlelit dinner or Netflix and pizza?
I'm gonna go with Netflix and pizza.
Yeah, I will go with sports and pizza.
Sports and pizza.
We don't really watch movies. But.
So do you have a go-to Netflix show or?
We binge watch occasionally different shows. We just binge watched that one with Nicole Kidman recently. If anybody has watched that one,
is that a show or a movie?
It's a show. There's multiple episodes.
Like The Perfect Couple or something like that?
Yeah, The Perfect Couple.
It's pretty crazy, right?
There's a twist.
Yeah, okay.
There's a big twist. So yeah, we watched that one, and that's what I was saying. Cool.
So when going on a trip, do you pack your whole closet or do you travel light?
My whole closet.
You've
learned.
I can do just a few things. Like I did one bag to Africa, but other than that,
Did you really?
I did.
I was thinking of you.
Days.
How did you manage? Did you do laundry?
I did at your house.
Oh yeah. That's right, because I was panicking because it wasn't taken
working.
for every house. That's funny.
But usually I like to have variety.
Yeah, like I just don't know how I'm going to feel that day.
Right.
How can I possibly know how I'm going to feel and what I'm going to wear?
We don't know how many hot flashes we're going to have. We don't know if the weather's going to be 58
If we're going to feel bloated that day.
Degrees.
Yeah,
do we need stretchy pants? Do we need...
Always need
It's all the things.
Yeah, right. True. Always
all
need
the
stretchy
things.
pants. That's true.
Okay, so what is one aspect of motherhood you find the most joy in?
Okay, for me, it's the fact that my kids actually want to talk to me and do come to me and do, like, there are times I do not want to talk to me. And they'll probably see this and be like, oh, Mom. But I feel like they will pick up the phone and they'll call, just like Emma earlier. Like, Mom, you'll never believe, So
Cool.
talking, the communication.
And
open.
Daniel does that too?
Yes. Yep, open communication. Yep,
That's cool.
that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That they come to us.
Yeah. I guess when seeing my kids just be good citizens or active members of society, or having another parent be like, hey, I saw your son do this and it really, I just wanted you to know from mom to mom.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are
Getting the accolades, that our
nice.
Kids are.
We actually raised good humans.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
It's the encouragement. All moms need to be encouraged because, we're just in the nitty gritty all the time. And sometimes it's hard to detach ourselves from the negative because we focus on the negative because we're building them up. So sometimes it's nice to.
But I would agree. Those little times at night, even when you're so dog tired, but they want to talk. It's okay.
When they come and they crawl into the bed and they're like, hey.
I know.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we're going to have an Emma sandwich or we're going to have a Daniel sandwich, or whatever. And
Yeah.
Kind of brings back the old days when they were little and they wanted to come in and cuddle with you.
Luke doesn't do that as much anymore, but you can tell when he's having a hard day. I'm usually in bed reading, and he'll come and sit at the edge of the bed and just want me to touch his hair. I'm like, oh, you're having a bad. Well, he just wants attention from me. Yeah, but he doesn't talk much.
That's true, and when you see the kids go to dad too, that there's something that they need to communicate with them as well. And so I appreciate the fact that it just isn't always mom that they're coming to, because as kids, we were the go-tos for all of our kids.
Yeah. So what is one aspect of motherhood you find the most challenging?
Keeping my mouth shut.
That's a good one. How you doing on that one?
Yeah.
3 out of 10, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, control. Like, just trying to let them navigate and do it on their own, and stepping back and watching them make mistakes and having to be okay with it, because that's really hard.
It's so hard because you're just like, if you just do what I tell you to do, things would be so much better.
Yeah.
Like,
We've been there. We've done that.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
yeah,
It's hard.
it's hard. And like, I think I said this I did say this in a previous podcast about a book I'm read called Doing Life with Your Adult Children. Keeping the,
because of you.
did you read it?
I'm reading it right now.
Keeping the welcome mat out and your mouth shut.
Oh,
Like that's the
good.
subtitle or whatever. And it was just such a helpful, practical book, faith-based, of like what it looks like to do life with your adult kids. If you want to have a healthy relationship with them as adults, this is what you should do. And if you don't do, this is what's probably going to happen, right? I found it to be so helpful. And I mean, ultimately it was like, if you feel like you shouldn't talk, then don't talk. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I know I shouldn't say this. I know I
I
shouldn't
just
say
have
this.
to!
That's when we need to reach out to each other and be like, okay, before I say something you're not supposed to, let me just pass this by you.
Yeah.
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 I
Okay.
agree.
So what is one new skill or hobby you have always wanted to learn?
I need to be a better cook. I've always told you I'm a terrible cook, and I would.
think you're a terrible cook.
I am. I like to bake. I bake. I don't cook. Let's see what else. There was something I was talking about just the other day. It's like, okay, photography, learning how to use my camera
That's fun.
in the right way. I have such a nice camera, and I keep putting on automatic. I'm like, no. There's
You should take a class. That would
I
be
need
really
to
fun.
take a
I think you'd be
class.
great at that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
So that'd be me.
I dabbled in it once, but I really would love to like get more efficient at pottery. Like,
I knew you were
going
going
to
to
say
say
pottery.
pottery.
Ooh, yes.
I just love it, and I've only taken one class. Made like a little toothpaste holder. Or
Is
you still have it?
that in the house? Is it?
it's in my bedroom.
Fun!
Toothpaste holder. Anyway, it didn't turn out terrible. It's functional.
You know, you
Love
should
it.
just invest in like a wheel, and then you just have to get better at it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Put it in the
We
garage.
can make you a she shed.
Oh, well, I could. Yeah.
That
I can totally
happen.
see you just sitting there
With
making
my
pottery.
and my garden.
She
And,
could change the chicken coop into a
oh, that's a great idea.
to a
So chickens, no more?
They all died.
No, I know that, but like, you're not going to redo
I
it?
mean, I would. It was just wasn't a lot of time, but it's a lot of upkeep,
Sure.
you know? I don't know that it was worth it.
I feel
I don't
like,
think we saved any money by the time you buy the feed. And
Well,
we only had 4 chickens.
I feel like that's how we feel about gardening too. Not really saving any money.
it's the fact that here's the way because I'm
Therapy.
terrible. I don't have the green thumb Philip does. I think it's the fact that came from your hard work, planting it in the ground, and then watching God provide what we need to
Yeah.
sustain ourselves.
It's therapy for me. Like,
I really like
something
digging in the
where I
dirt.
just
Digging
don't
in the
have
dirt.
to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed learning that skill this year,
That's cool.
for sure. When launching your kids, is it freedom at last or sob fest?
Both.
Same.
I'm going both.
Same.
I mean, yeah. Just because I know they'll come back, but like it was like, bye-bye, like for Zach. I mean,
Luke pushed
I
us
think
out of the
they
room.
pushed you to the point where you're like, see you later. But now it's like, it's sweet because Zach, like, he calls us and he talks and he wants to like share
Connect.
stuff with
Yeah.
us. So I'm like, okay, you're sweet again. Like,
Yeah.
but-
I mean, so it was such a different experience watching 2 of my kids.
Oh.
Luke literally, like, we got there, got everything in. He's like, okay, bye. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not prepared for that. Like, you need to let me help. He's like, I don't want your help. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for that. We should have discussed this. Like, where
Yeah.
Savannah was all about mommy and daddy helping and setting up the room and meeting all the parents.
Oh, no,
and we
we
had,
didn't do any of that.
but no, and we all had dinner with the parents that
Oh,
night. It was like, it was feeding mommy's soul. Like, I don't know if she wanted it. I think she did. But like, it was so good it was such a good send off.
Yeah.
I was sad, but I wasn't like sad. And yeah, so.
Well, another thing is that you can get to her fairly quickly
Yeah.
if needed, and you wanted to have a lunch together, or if she's like, if you just wanted to, if she wanted you and you needed her, you can always just check in with each other,
Yeah.
and I think that's having somebody close by, you're not going to have
I
that
think
so
that'll
much.
be different for us for sure. I think
Yeah,
it will
with
be
Grant.
a little sadder because Grant will be a day away, you know, like we can't just get to him.
And an athlete so busy.
Right, we won't see him in the summers, like he won't come home during the summers. And,
Ever?
like we'll probably see him maybe Thanksgiving, I think they said.
That's
And maybe a little bit in the summer.
okay.
Really?
Because he's going to be overseas or playing volleyball.
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
And he's such a homebody, so I'm not really sure how
Well, so is
he's gonna
Savannah.
respond to that. So
I mean, there is no bigger homebody
yeah,
and introvert than Savannah, and she's doing well, but yeah, that's hard.
we'll see.
The
We'll see.
internships, having Dee be so far away, you know, we couldn't get to him unless we traveled
Yeah.
10 plus hours to get to him,
Yeah.
or by plane. So that I understand.
Yeah.
It's different. So now I'm like super excited for him to come home.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we'll be able to connect on a daily basis.
Sure.
Until he goes back to college. So
It's fun.
sorry, Dee.
So what is one symptom of perimenopause, menopause that you weren't prepared for?
Not sleeping. Like I get it. I'm a night owl, but when I slept, or before all this, I slept hard. Like I felt renewed, rejuvenated when I woke by the morning. No. I feel like I haven't slept at all. Like which eye is open?
Yeah. I wake up a lot. Although progesterone, I take progesterone, and that's helped with the sleeping, but I still like at least twice a night.
Because I got this tells me how many times I'm awake and like, oh, are you sure that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest one for me, like this might be way too much information, but like just my deodorant doesn't work anymore. Like I stink. I feel like I stink.
So like your body chemistry kind of
yeah,
changed?
like changed.
Hormonal.
Hormonal. It's all like, I mean, I found stuff that works now, but like initially I was like, what is that smell?
Is that
that's
me?
me. Like, I don't know. I think that and facial hair, or just hair.
Oh.
Just
So much hair
so
in
much
places.
hair, except like here I'm losing
Right?
it.
It's falling
Everywhere
out.
but where you want it. Yeah, that's
That's so funny that you said the facial hair because no joke. I was just saying this. I had Emma like plucking my eyebrows last night, and I was like, "Do you see anything else that needs to be taken care of?" See anything? She's like, "Oh, yes." And I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, like I could have like this, and this was like, I don't know, 8 years ago, but I had this like long hair. It was like literally this long, and I was like,
Was it curly?
so mad at like whoever
Everybody.
was around me. No one told me I had this, and I was like, I didn't see it.
See, if you have a girl, like once they'll
She was
tell
younger.
you.
Emma does
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah, the girls will tell you. The boys don't, but the girls will tell you for sure.
Like, oh my gosh.
Or
like,
she'll
was
tell me I
just-
need to check my. She's
thought
like,
it was-
"Mom, your
yeah.
mustache." It's like,
So
Terrible.
it's expensive and painful, but electrolysis is
I'm
the
gonna
way
go
to
to-
go.
Can they do a group discount? I mean, I will sign up.
Yeah, because like I have PCOS too, so I've had facial hair forever. So I was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet, and it's amazing.
Okay.
But because your hormones are so out of whack, I still have to go. It's
Yeah.
like every 3 months or whatever. But like,
It'll
get
be
an
worth
update.
it though, to not look like I'm,
oh my gosh.
you know, didn't shave.
And
this
my
morning.
eyes aren't great, so I can't see anything.
Right?
Right.
Not even these.
Not
Not
even
even
in the
like
sunlight. Not even in the car anymore with my
Right.
tweezers because I can't see it.
the car is the best. That's why we see so
I
many
know.
moms in like car line doing the mirror.
'Cause it's the best
check. That's
lighting.
the lady. Yes.
Yeah. Now I have to have the 50 magnifier on my. I can't see.
We're there.
Okay. So, in talking, like, we've been friends for 20 plus years, I thought it would be fun for this episode to kind of talk about what friendship looks like in midlife, and if it's different, and if it's harder, if it's easier. So, I guess with this, I'm kind of begging the question, but what has been the biggest challenge maintaining friendships in this season of life?
I know for me, it's just me being busy with my kids and their stuff, so I don't really have time to foster new relationships, I guess, unless those people are within the realm
The
of
sphere of the sports.
of the sports.
Mhm.
So that's been my most challenging, just being busy. Too
And
busy.
so is that maintaining current and making new?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we try to do like a monthly dinner. There's
Yeah.
like 5 of us from the neighborhood that try to do like a monthly dinner. Like Jody just messaged us the other day, like, dinner, and I was like, I can't. I've got an HSDC meeting, and I hated that I missed out on it. And you had something too. I think you had volleyball that night. So it's like we're always, even though we're in that phase that kids are kind of leaving. We still have Emma is a senior, and so she has her activity. She's got golf, and I want to be present, and you want to be present because we know those days are fleeting, and we don't want to miss out on something. And so I think, being intentional. We talked about being intentional with making those connections with each other, picking up the phone, just sending a text, anything to say, hey. But what I love about us is that it doesn't matter how long it's been. It's like we pick up right where we left off. Like when we went on the cruise.
Yeah.
It was like, this is the best. We got to do this every other year. We're going to make this. And we talked about it too. I was like, I really hope that we do make this work every other year when we do the family vacations.
It's fun.
Because just getting the kids together too and having them see how we continue to make that effort to connect with each other, even though we don't live, for you guys, live so close to each other.
Yeah.
I think it's important to show our kids how we do that. And I have lifelong friends that I've known since I was born. Literally, my neighbor was one. We were one when we became friends, if you will. And I've known them since I was 1, 4, and 6, and then 15 years old. And that group of friends, we would try to get together at least once a year, even though we all live everywhere, Florida, Connecticut, Vermont, everywhere. We would try to get together once a year, and we do have a group chat.
That's cool.
So when there's something important, you just try to stay connected.
Yeah.
Staying connected is just
Staying
hard.
connected. Yeah.
Group chats are good too,
Group
because you
chats.
can send stupid stuff and
Yeah, memes are
Yeah, I love
back
those.
and forth.
I love the ones that we keep sending. It's so funny. Did you love the one I sent this morning?
Yeah.
Or last night?
Yeah, memes have become some of my favorite things.
Yeah.
But like, and this is gonna sound bad, but like, I found that the older I have gotten, the more selective I am with my time.
Yeah.
So like, it's gonna sound like a hierarchy of friends, and I don't really mean it like that, but like, we only have so much time, right?
True.
And now that I am the first truly like empty nester, it's obviously a lot different, right? Like, I have so much more time now. But like, as Savannah was a senior, like, we did all the whatever. So I had to be really selective of like, okay, I have one night this week to hang out with friends. I don't want it to be like, it's so bad. But like,
I get it. Like, yeah, I get it. You want to be yourself. You want to.
I just want to be my, yes. I don't want to have to pretend or like, yeah. And talk about like, the older I've gotten, the more I'm just like, this is who I am. Like, I don't have the patience to pretend anymore.
Yeah, I'm definitely grumpier. So like,
No, you're not. Stop.
I am. So like, maybe there's people that like have been like, I'm not gonna hang out with her anymore because
You are not grumpy.
Right?
I am grumpy.
She thinks she's grumpy. I love you.
Grumpy. Maybe that's a perimenopausal time or a postmenopausal grumpiness.
All the above.
Mood swings.
So what has been the biggest successes in maintaining friendship? So you said group chats.
Yeah, group
for
chats.
sure. Phone calls, texts.
Are you good at phone calls?
Yeah, I
She's
love talking
good
to
at
you.
Yeah, that's true. What am I saying?
I love you.
What am I saying?
I love talking. What are you talking about? I actually don't like text because I want to talk to people.
Sure.
I'm bad about calls.
But if I would do a phone call, an hour and a half has gone by. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I've taken up an hour and a half of your
I have
time.
to schedule the phone calls. I can't just be like, I'm gonna call AnnMarie today because I don't have 2 hours. But
Because
when
that's
we
what
talk,
we would do.
talk.
Yeah, we do it. Like, can you chat tomorrow at 3?
Yes, me too. I don't know. Because I want to make sure there's undivided attention.
Yeah.
There's somebody I don't talk to all the time.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I would agree.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. The cool thing about it is like you said, our kids grew up together too.
Yeah.
So they kind of maintain friendships apart from us too. So that's been kind of cool. Like, going on cruises together, they love it as much as we do.
They do,
So that's
yes.
helpful too,
They really
maintaining
do.
those
Yeah.
friendships. Like, I mean, I love your kids so much. And I know my kids,
Same.
I mean, like, you are, Uncle Dave and Aunt Michelle in her phone, in Savannah's phone, right?
Oh,
like,
how sweet is that?
I mean, so like, I know my kids feel that way about both you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you babysat my kids.
I did.
Yeah.
I took care of everybody's kids.
Yeah. So
So fun.
with making new friends, what new experiences or activities have led to new friendships? Okay. Yeah, so what are some things that you're involved with that have just naturally led to new friendships?
For me, because we don't do much outside of sports or church, small groups is a good one. Like life groups has been a good one to make new friends through the church.
And have you made like new people?
Yeah.
Did you like know them before, but now you really knew them?
Kind of like they were at church. Like I was thinking of like Mary and Scott.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Like
Yeah.
we're in a small group with them together, and we kind of try and do like dinners once a month or stuff like that. But I don't know. We weren't friends with them before, but now they're new friends.
Yes, new friends.
That's cool.
And
our kids are friends. Like
yes.
our boys are friends.
And Ethan, I was gonna say it was because of Emma meeting Ethan, and then
did they date?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember
They were. Well, it was like 7th grade. I think.
Okay.
Sorry, Emma and Ethan.
Right.
Sorry. But yeah, they. But I got to meet Mary through that, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's one of us. Like, truly, she is funny. She is honest. She is loving and kind. She is going to tell you the truth, and that's what we need. We need truth tellers. When we're our sisters in Christ, we have to be able to go to each other in faith and say, hey, I saw you, think this is, I saw this the other day. How are you doing? Are you okay? Like checking in. And she's really good about that. And that's how I got to know her. And I just adore her personality too.
That's so important to have those. So my mentor calls them gospel mirroring friends.
Fun. That's awesome. I like
that love you, that are invested in you, and love you enough to be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, like that's not loving if you see someone stray and you don't say anything, right? So like to have that 1, 2, Lord willing, 3 people in your life who love you, know you, and is willing to call you out of love, it's critical.
Yeah, and throughout the years, I was mentioning to Michelle, I remember you and Michelle had made little cards for me way back, like probably 10, 12 years ago, and I still have those.
Do you?
Yes, I do, because you put them in a little plastic container, like a little note card container.
Do you remember what some of the things
verses, lots of verses. Aww. Lots of verses
That's
about...
so sweet of us.
Yeah, so sweet. That's another thing of menopause. Like, I don't remember. Like, I mean, I do remember doing that, but I don't remember the verses.
Okay, so I had thought about this because you guys had done that so long ago. And it's like, we need to do that. Some sort of a note cards of love to each other in a way from women to women. Because I think we put so much pressure on ourselves that we forget who we are first and foremost, especially going through motherhood. You kind of lose, well, not kind of, you do lose a bit of yourself.
You can if you're not careful.
In that process.
Yeah.
And, Susie 2.0, I guess is what I'll call myself.
I like that.
Susie 2.0. And I really hope that, yes, I'm almost to the point of no longer having the children that need you. But gosh, I'm 50. Yes, I said it out loud. My parents are 80. And I still call my mom and my dad. My dad is tech support. My mom is customer service. And we call and we have questions. And I hope my kids still call and ask us questions because... And at that time, I will be able to open my mouth and not keep my mouth shut and say it nicely, of course. But I really think that we just need to keep doing that.
Yeah.
But as moms, like, we need to keep lifting each other up.
Yeah.
And mothers to mothers and women to women.
So part of, I think I said this before, part of the reason why I started this podcast in general was birthed out of my own struggle of entering in this mid-season. And I'm just like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Like, everything is changing. Socially, psychologically, physically, everything just felt different. And I just felt like there was this chasm of information and help, and no one talks about it. I'm like...
Or just to know that you're not alone.
Right.
And there's other people, like, this is normal.
Like, validate what you're feeling. Like, no, that's whatever. And then, like, depending on your luck with doctors, you'll get doctors to be like, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with you. Or this is normal, or deal with it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with it, So anyway, having this podcast and interviewing amazing women in this season of life in different subjects, I just think it's helpful to shine a light on some of these things, that we're not alone, and that we need to talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
that like we need to talk about this kind of stuff because there's just so much literature on like when the kids are little. There's so many books and help and whatever, but there's just nothing for like women our age. And I just feel like we're underutilized in our wisdom across the board. We have so much to offer, and I don't think people realize that. And I think we're kind of forgotten a little bit. And I'm not okay with that.
Yeah. I was telling Michelle, I remember in the church when our church was first starting, and when I was in an engaged couples group, and then our pastor also said you need to go into this other group, and it was about communication and intimacy. And the age range of men and women was, Philip, I was in my 20s, Philip was in his 30s, and then it went all the way up to 60s and 70s, these couples. So that, when the ladies would split off for the prayer time, that was invaluable to me. Or invaluable, whatever. It was the best thing for me. I can't figure, sorry, again, menopause brain. But that was so valuable to me because I gained so much wisdom from them. And I wish we continued in that fashion because there's so much to be gained from people who've already been there, done that.
Women need women. Women need women of all seasons.
1,000%.
I mean, it's in Titus, right? It's biblical. Like
moms.
Women need women.
Yeah,
like
there's of many seasons.
Yeah, I mean, like it's critical. So, like, my prayer for part of this podcast is not only of women at this stage of life watch it, but like younger women watch it too, so they can have mentors or like, oh, okay, so they can be prepared or they can, know who to go to like when they go through this stage of life.
Right. They can start in their 40s. Like I wish I had someone speaking wisdom
Oh my
to me
goodness.
when I was in my early 40s.
Me too.
To like go check your hormones. Like go make sure like this is on track because like I had some health issues that were pretty crappy towards my later 40s. And so I don't know, just helpful to have that
for sure
information.
For sure.
And get connected, ladies. Get connected.
Get connected. Yeah, that's a good. So like, what influence your friendships most? Like your new friendships. What do you think influences? So you said like sports, right? Like
sports.
So what about you? What do you think influences your new friendships most?
I think just having energy, like getting surrounding myself with people who are energetic, fun, just want to talk. I think that's just so important to me because it's my love language. Is just having that connection. I would love to travel with. Do more travel. Obviously, I love traveling.
We're ready.
I know.
Y'all are ready.
You guys can come with me because, like, I'm more of a homebody. Like, I do like to travel, like, United States, but like Grant's supposed to go to Uzbekistan and next summer, and
We
I'm
need
like,
to do that.
I'm
Supposed to?
going
Like supposed to?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's where the
That's
world
the next-
is for indoor. I'm like,
You can choose that.
That's what I said. Okay, why can we not
China, like I'm not going to
Why
Oh,
can't they
that's
choose
amazing.
France
right?
or like
I'll go to
England?
Italy. Like, I don't know.
Maybe you can
So-
dial in for the
Uzbekistan.
next
Get your
one.
passports ready, ladies. We're going
Mine's
to Red
updated.
Camels.
Mine's updated after the cruise we did it. So before the cruise we did it.
Wow. That's wow. I don't think I'd ever thought to go there.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh, I'd really like to go there. No. Anyway.
So side note, her middle child is a future Olympian. Faux show.
1,000%.
with volleyball.
Yes,
We'll
he
see.
is.
We'll say, come
He
on.
lives, eats, and breathes volleyball.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
he's amazing. Yeah. So thinking about like women and friendships and how to keep and maintain those friendships, what's some wisdom do you think you could impart for women who are struggling to like have solid friends? Like, I'm going to assume that all three of us believe that it's critical to have solid friends.
Yes. 100%,
Right.
yes.
So, and I feel like maybe because we're kind of transient too, that making and keeping friends, especially the older you get, is a lot harder because of a lot of things, family and time and whatever. But, so what kind of wisdom do you think you would impart to women who are struggling?
So I think for me, and I don't know if I'm like going to portray this or not, but like we're all going through stuff. Like our families like just have stuff. Like there's dysfunctional stuff. Like, and so maybe that friend is also going through stuff. She doesn't want to talk about it, or she retreats, like I would. And so
You're
like,
so much better about that now.
I know,
right?
but like go after that person, or make sure that I don't know, So don't just be like, well, she didn't talk to me, or, you know, she didn't text me back, or like, maybe there's a reason, you know, like, go after that person.
When you don't, sometimes until it finally comes out, because it's a great point, until you finally find out why that person has retreated. You're like, darn it, I wish I'd been there more.
Yeah.
Darn it, I wish I'd continued to reach out. Darn it, I wish I had done more. Because we're supposed to be sisters in Christ. We're supposed to still uphold each other and lift each other up and those types of things. And I think no matter if you're a believer or a non-believer, you're going to go through stuff.
For sure.
Your four walls.
Life's hard, man, and it's messy.
So if you can set your side of stuff and be like, oh, well, that hurt my feelings, or that, you know, maybe, I don't know, just give them a second chance, or
not
take it so personally.
And so the older I've gotten, I've really learned how to working on checking my ego too. So like, if something like that were to happen, I would want to go to that person if I in fact offended that person. Like if I did or said something that was like hurtful, I want to know.
Yes.
I want to be able to make that situation right. And, you know, like it's like abrasive. So you're like refining, right? You're refining who you are. And so even if it's just they're going through something, or if you actually did hurt them, I still want to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that takes being rooted in your identity as a daughter of Christ, of who you are first, in order to be able to have people like, no, actually, you kind of suck like this. So like, this is, I mean, you know, I mean, how else are we going to grow?
Right.
We have to have those hard conversations sometimes.
And I've always avoided hard conversations, especially if like, because I have a tendency to want people to like me. So.
What was that? When we did the lion, the beaver, the otter, and the golden
retriever.
Gosh,
it was years ago.
Personality test. I'm a lion and an otter because I want to have a good time and I want to be in charge.
Retriever. Just like me.
Just
like me.
Yeah, the beaver is the analytical one, and the golden retriever is the pleaser.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like any of the personality profiles, right? Like, I think the original one was like the sanguine, the choleric, but it's the same
thing.
Personality profile. Although I do wonder, like, if you take it as a 20-year-old and if you take it now, like, if it would be...
Mine would be
different. Okay, after this, we're going to go take a personality test.
I think mine would be different. Austin kind of, like, makes fun of me a little bit. Like, he's like, you're kind of an introvert now. Like, he's like, you don't like to meet new people anymore. Right. I'm like, that's not fair.
Made all my friends. Only you knew it.
I think sometimes, like, okay, so when we were at church, you know, you went and you greeted the first-time visitors, the second-time visitors. Well, now churches are so big. I have walked up to people that I don't know, and I'm like, hey, I'm Susie. You know, how long have you been coming to River Oaks? They're like, oh, I've been coming for 7 years. I'm like, oh, sorry. And then they're like, how long have you been here? I'm like, 25.
Gosh, have you really?
Yeah, since beginning, October of that year we started. I was single.
I think we started within the first year, maybe first or second year.
Yeah. Oh, and and then you were in the band. She's a great singer.
She is a great singer.
And she would sing to us on our birthdays and send us messages.
Oh, that's right.
Even from Africa,
That's right.
you'd call and leave voicemails. Happy birthday.
Yeah. So I thought it through in how long have I been a believer? I was 23. In the however long, many years that is, this is the first church we've ever gone to that I wasn't on the worship team. So
I want you to sing again. You're an amazing singer.
I'm
it's
all
such
right.
a gift.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe this season will come back around, but I feel like.
What was the group that you guys started? It was you and Katie.
Oh, Faithful Harmony.
Faithful Harmony. Katie, and Cindy. Wasn't it the
four
of you?
Natalie.
Oh, and Natalie Lee. Yep.
Yeah.
It's 5 of you?
Yeah, there's 5 of us. It was fun. And it was like really great for us for that season and for that time. And yeah.
When you left to move to Africa, they played the Africa
ruined everything.
song. It did not ruin everything.
I ruined everything.
I never got to go visit you. I was really bummed about that. I really wanted to come and see you in Africa, but
I can see us going back, not living, but I can see us definitely going back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something.
As Philip has always said, I would be the one that you all sacrificed.
Oh my gosh! What is that even? Oh, like if we're running from
Leave her! Sacrifice her. We'll be fine.
once, right?
No.
So we had stopped, like we were on like a game drive, and we had stopped for like a drink or a snack or something like that, and he stopped right by like a pond, and there was the biggest crocodile I've ever seen ever in the history of crocodiles, like just over like the bank, right? Like close.
No.
And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, and he's like, it's fine. And he was like, you don't have to be the fastest, you just have to be faster than the other guy.
It'll always be me. She's good. She's going to heaven. We're good.
Oh my
God.
She's going to see Jesus a little sooner than
So
she thought.
mean.
This is okay. I mean, it's all
Oh
good.
man.
Life is good. Laughter. Always got to have laughter.
Oh, that's good.
With whoever you're with, ladies, always be laughing.
Yeah,
Because
always be laughing.
Laughter is the best medicine. And if you're not laughing with your friends, find new friends.
I mean, yeah, because like we go through hard things, and if you can't laugh, then it's just everything's
And
just hard.
sometimes you have to laugh at those hard things that you're going through. You may not laugh initially,
At the
but
time.
afterwards you're like,
Yeah.
oh man, you remember when?
Yeah.
I think laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah. Thank you so much
This was so
for
fun.
coming up here and for being a
is
part of
great.
this. This is
Yeah.
so fun.
I'm
So
glad you're going to do this
you need to
too.
come back on the show when you guys come down to visit me, and we can do another episode on something else. Those are always fun.
By the pool.
By the
Mountains
pool.
To the pool.
So thanks.
But thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank you for
coming.
having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having us.
Okay.